Lil Durk, the voice of the trenches, the face of Chicago's drill legacy, has been in and out of headlines for years. But when he got locked up, fans, blogs, and industry insiders lost their minds. Whispers turned into blogs, tweets turned into theories. Was it a setup, a warning, or just another rapper caught in the system? Some say he was moving smart, others say he was playing with fire. In the rap world, jail time is almost a rite of passage. But when you're Durk with hits on the radio and enemies on your block, it hits different. Some claim he was protected inside. Others say he faced real pressure from ops and crooked COs. And just like every jail story, there's always a mix of truth, cap, and calculated PR. We dug through court docs, old interviews, rumor threads, and tapped into the culture to break it all down. Was Lil Durk's jail stint just legal drama? Or something way deeper? Let's get into it. The charges, the time, the rumors, and the comeback. Lil Durk getting locked up was one of those moments that shook the rap game. Everybody caught wind quick, some from news, others from street chatter. The story started when the cops swooped in and the headlines popped up everywhere. But what really went down? Was it just the usual legal mess rappers face? Or was something bigger playing behind the scenes? The truth is, when you're someone like Lil Durk, every move you make is watched, and every arrest turns into a whole saga. The streets buzz with stories, and the internet's filled with takes, some true. Some wild. Durk's problems started with some serious charges. The reports said it was related to weapons possession and some ongoing investigations linked to violence. That's nothing new in the drill scene, but for Durk, this was a heavy moment. He wasn't just some guy caught with a gun. The feds were looking at him hard. Rumors said they wanted to tie him to bigger things, stuff Durk denied. But the courts didn't play. It's always tricky with rappers, because sometimes the law sees the lyrics and stories as proof, even if it's just art. The arrest came after a long period of surveillance. People close to Durk say the feds had been watching him for months, tracking calls, movements, even social media. They say this was no random bust, it was a plan. Some say the cops were trying to send a message, not just to Durk, but to the whole Chicago rap scene. Others think maybe it was to shake up the power balance between different crews. Street politics runs deep, and when you're at the top, that spotlight burns hot. When Durk got locked up, the reaction was immediate. Fans flooded social media, some saying free Durk, others worried about what this meant for his music and career. On YouTube, channels blew up with breakdowns of every clip, every hint dropped by Durk and his crew. There were theories that Durk was set up by rivals or even snitched on by people in his circle. That's classic rap drama. No one knows for sure, but everyone's got an opinion. The charges were heavy. The courts painted a picture that tied Durk to incidents that went beyond him holding a gun. Allegedly, the feds connected him to some shootings and rival beefs, trying to say he was more involved than just a rapper telling stories. Durk's lawyers fought back, saying the evidence was weak and circumstantial, and that the government was just trying to use him as a scapegoat to crack down on the drill movement. But jail ain't easy, especially when you're a high-profile name like Durk. Behind bars, the rules change. The power you have on the streets can get flipped fast. Some say Durk kept his head low and used the time to reflect and plan. Others say he had to deal with heat from inmates who didn't like his status or connections. There were whispers that some guards gave him a harder time because of who he is, trying to make an example out of him. The environment inside was tense, a mix of respect, fear, and danger. Still, even in jail, Durk's name kept buzzing. His team pushed out messages, songs, and videos, showing him strong and focused. The internet kept the hype alive, free. Durk became a rallying cry, and that mattered. When rappers get locked, staying relevant is part of the game. Some use the time to build their legend, others fall off. For Durk, the move was to come back harder. The arrest and jail time also stirred more talk about the system targeting black rappers and artists from the streets. Fans and activists pointed out how quickly the law moved against Durk compared to others. They said this wasn't just about crime, it was about trying to silence a voice that tells the real stories of the hood. Durk's situation became a symbol of the ongoing struggle between the music industry, the streets, and law enforcement. So, what really happened to Lil Durk in jail? The official story is that he faced some serious charges but kept his cool, worked with his lawyers, and planned for his release. The rumors are that there was way more drama behind the scenes, conflicts inside, deals being made, maybe even people switching sides. Like most rap stories, the full truth is locked away. But what's clear is that Durk's jail time was a pivotal chapter in his life and career. Fans are still waiting for all the pieces to come out. But one thing's for sure, Lil Durk's jail stint wasn't just about time behind bars. It was about power, survival, and making sure when he stepped out, the game knew he was still king. Lil Durk being inside jail brought a whole new set of stories. Some real BL, some straight-up rumors that spread like wildfire. When you're locked up, especially as famous as Durk, people start guessing what's really going on behind those walls. Some say he was chill, keeping his distance from trouble, focused on his music and legal battles. Others say it was a war zone, with pressure coming from all sides, from rival inmates, from guards, and even from the system itself. One of the biggest rumors floating around was that Durk got special treatment because of his status. Fans claimed he had people on the inside looking out for him, that he was protected from harm, and even had access to things regular inmates don't. That sounds nice. Jail isn't a movie, and many who know say it's rare for anyone to really be safe in there, no matter how famous. The real story is probably somewhere in between. Durk's team pushed to make sure he stayed protected, but the jail system isn't always easy to control. There were also whispers that Durk had to face some tough situations. Some inmates reportedly didn't like how much power and respect he had outside, so they challenged him inside. Prison politics can be brutal, and rival crews sometimes clash behind bars too. People close to Durk said he handled things quietly, avoiding fights and keeping his head low. But that doesn't mean it was easy. Some stories even say he got into a few scuffles, but those were kept hush-hush, away from public eyes. Another thing people talked about was how the jail staff treated him. Some claimed the guards were harsher on Durk, trying to make an example out of him because of his fame and the serious charges he faced. There are always stories about corruption and abuse in jails, and high-profile inmates sometimes face extra heat. On the flip side, there were rumors Durk got special perks, more time on the phone, better food, even visits from people that regular inmates wouldn't get. The truth is probably a mix of both, depending on who you ask. While Durk was locked up, his music never stopped reaching fans. Songs dropped, videos came out, and messages from his team kept the spotlight on him. That's a move a lot of rappers make. Jail time can boost your story if you play it right. It adds to your legend, makes your fans root harder for you. Durk's camp worked hard to keep him in the conversation, and it worked. People weren't just talking about the charges. They were talking about his hustle, his pain, and his plans for a big comeback. But jail also changed Durk's perspective. People close to him say the time inside made him think harder about his life, the streets, and the rap game. He started to focus more on business moves and less on street drama. That kind of growth doesn't always get headlines, but it's real. The quiet moments behind bars, the missed freedom, the chance to reflect, all of that shapes how a rapper comes back out. Durk wasn't just surviving jail, he was learning how to win bigger after. Still, the drama didn't stop. Social media exploded with fake news and wild stories. Some said Durk snitched. Others claimed he was plotting from jail. Every rumor got dissected, shared, and turned into videos. The rap news channels went crazy, making it hard to separate fact from fiction. But through it all, Durk's real team kept things tight, only dropping what was needed to keep the narrative positive. At the end of the day, jail is a tough place for anyone, but especially for someone in the spotlight like Lil Durk. The mix of fear, respect, rumors, and real pressure made those months some of the hardest in his life. But it also showed his strength, how he could keep his name alive, keep his fans loyal, and prepare for the next move. Durk's jail time became more than just about court dates and cells. It became a chapter in the story of a rapper who's still fighting to stay on top, still trying to turn pain into power. And while no one knows all the secrets of what happened, inside those walls, everyone watching knows Lil Durk isn't the same and that he's coming back ready. When Lil Durk finally got out, it felt like the rap game was holding its breath. Everyone wanted to see what kind of energy he was going to bring after that jail time. Would he come back cold, quiet, or ready to shake up the whole scene? The truth is, his release wasn't just a moment, it was a statement. Durk stepped out, with his eyes locked on the prize, ready to show that jail couldn't break him. The first thing you notice is how he handled the public image. Durk and his team played it smart. No wild partying or loud drama. Instead, he dropped music that spoke. On his time inside, his struggles, and his growth. Tracks hit hard, real talk about pain, survival, and hustle. His fans connected instantly. They knew this wasn't just a comeback, it was a new chapter. And the streets showed love, respecting the fact that Durk kept it real. No fake flexes. Durk's jail experience also changed how he moved in the industry. He started making bigger business plays, signing deals, dropping collaborations, and even mentoring younger artists. He became less about beef and more about building an empire. That shift didn't happen overnight, but you could feel it in his music and interviews. He wanted to elevate his brand beyond the streets, proving he's more than just a drill rapper. He's a mogul in the making. Of course, not everything was smooth. The beefs and rivalries that followed him didn't just disappear. Some rivals used his jail time to talk tough, claiming he was weakened. But Durk shut that noise down quick, showing up on tracks, interviews, and social media with that same energy that made him a star. He reminded everyone he's still in control and ready for whatever comes next. That resilience is why fans never stopped writing for him. Another thing that stood out was how the public and media treated him after jail. Some outlets tried to paint him as a danger or troublemaker, pushing old stereotypes about rappers and crime. But there was also a wave of support from fans, fellow artists, and even activists who spoke on how the system targets people like Durk unfairly. This mixed reaction showed how complex the story really is. He's both a product of the streets and a symbol of bigger issues. Durk's jail stint also sparked a bigger conversation in the hip-hop world about the criminal justice system and its impact on artists. More people started asking questions about how rappers are treated by the law, how social media and lyrics get twisted against them, and how difficult it is to survive when your art is used as evidence. Durk's story became part of that dialogue, shining light on something deeper than just music. By the time Durk dropped his post-jail projects, it was clear he wasn't just back, he was leveled up. His music got more personal and more polished. He told stories not just about pain, but about lessons learned and the grind for success. Fans felt it was authentic, like they were getting a new side of Durk. The buzz wasn't just about the jail time anymore, but how he was turning all that into power. So what's next for Lil Durk? The streets and the industry both watch him closely. His time in jail was a test, one he passed with strength and strategy. He's still climbing, still making moves and still proving why he's one of the top voices in hip-hop today. The drama, the rumors, the hype, all part of the story. But Durk's future looks like it's all about growth and legacy. If you're a fan or just watching from the sidelines, one thing's clear. Lil Durk's jail time wasn't the end. It was a chapter that made him tougher, smarter, and hungrier. The rap game is waiting to see how he uses that energy next, and if the streets, the industry, Spell, and the fans stay loyal for what's coming. Lil Durk's story ain't just about jail time, it's about survival, power, and coming back stronger. Whether you believe the rumors or trust the facts, one thing's for sure. Durk showed the world what it means to face the system, the streets, and the spotlight all at once. His time locked up didn't break him, it made him sharpen his focus, build his brand, and remind everyone why he's still one of the realest voices in hip-hop. For fans, this chapter is a reminder to keep watching closely. Durk's music and moves after jail prove he's thinking bigger, more than just rapping. He's about legacy. So if you ride with him, stay tuned. There's more to come, and it won't be quiet. To the industry and the streets alike, Lil Durk's experience raises important questions about justice, loyalty, and respect. How do we support artists who live their truth? How do we break the cycle that puts so many behind bars before they even get started? These aren't just rap questions, they're real-life issues that need answers. So, if you're following the rap game, Durk's story is a must-watch. Share your thoughts, hit the comments, and keep the convo alive. Is Lil Durk a symbol of the system's unfair grip? Or a king who's mastered the hustle despite it all? Whatever you think, one thing's clear. His journey is far from over. Keep your eyes open and stay locked in for what Lil Durk drops next. The game's changing, and he's right in the middle of it. Love it.